information down. So you should have already started off with your notes with having this information, this title, and this information here. If you did not copy this yet, I'm going to give you a couple seconds. Go ahead and copy that down. Most of you should have already had it. If you don't already have it, then you want to skip about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines because I'm going to move on to the next part. Try to keep your notes just like I have it. So this should not be one big paragraph. Notice I have a sentence, then I have bulleted areas. This helps you take good notes. It's bulleted, meaning that this information goes with this sentence. So if you did not bullet it or put some type of star or smiley face or check mark in my bulleted areas, then you should do that. Do it just like I've done it. Now skip a line. No, only for the people who did not have that information. They're going to skip 6 lines so that they can start right here and get that information later. You already wrote the previous slide. You're going to just skip 1 line and put this. So you should skip 7. And your job right now is not to fill in the blanks. It's just to get the information down. You're going to be able to fill the blanks in later. Make sure you bullet it, and then you're going to write that. Put blank so that you have some space for the information that you're going to add. It says blank and blank can fix nitrogen so it can be used equals blank. And if you have a highlighter or a marker or some type of colored pencil, I would actually underline these blank areas with the colored pencil, the highlighter, or the marker, because that's good note taking, because that information is the information that you're going to need to know for testing or information to move on. That's why it's put like this. It's a study guide. Your notes are a study guide. So when you are looking at your notes and you are studying, you know those are the things that you're looking for, and those are the things that you should be able to recall. People are still writing, so I'm going to leave it on there for a second so they can get their information. If you don't have a marker or color pencil, there are some at your table that you can use. Skip one line and then you're going to write this. How do living things get nitrogen? What do you think you're going to write underneath? The what? This is a question, so what do you think you're going to be writing underneath? The answer is going to come underneath because these are notes. And they're guided like a study guide, or they're written like a study guide. Make sure you bullet it because it's telling you that one of the living things are plants, and plants get it from, and then you're going to be able to fill that in. And notice that's blank, so that's what you're going to be looking for. You're going to need to know how plants get nitrogen. What's another living thing? Animals. So humans are a type of animal, get it from, and you're going to be able to fill that information in. Get it from, yes, the typo on my part, so make sure you fix yours. Although this next one is on another slide, you're going to continue following right up under here. Nitrogen re-enters the air through blank from soil.
Oxide. It is also called laughing gas. This is what made you laugh. Let me tell you, laughing gas is made of nitrogen and oxygen. Do you know that most of the air you breathe is nitrogen? Oh, you can breathe this nitrogen. It is not laughing gas. In fact, although the air around us is full of nitrogen, we can't use it directly. To get it into our bodies, nitrogen has to go through a nitrogen cycle. Understand? Okay, I'll tell you more about nitrogen. But let's go to the kitchen. I'm baking a cake there. The cake isn't ready yet. We have to bake it first so that we can eat it. Nitrogen is just like this cake. Before we can use it, it needs to turn into other compounds. Did you know all living things need nitrogen to live? All of us, plants, animals, and humans, need nitrogen to make the proteins in our body. Plants also need it to make chlorophyll, the stuff that makes them green and helps them make food from sunlight. You really are hungry. So you gotta wait for the cake to bake. Just like nitrogen, which must be fixed for the plants to use. Lightning and some bacteria that live in some plants can fix the nitrogen in air for us to use. This is called nitrogen fixation. Not this plant. Special plants, called legume plants, have this bacteria in their roots. For example, soybean plants help fix the nitrogen. The bacteria in soil turns nitrogen into ammonia and nitrates, which plants can then use to grow. Now you know how plants get their nitrogen. Can you guess how animals get their nitrogen? Yes, by eating plants. Animals get their nitrogen from the plants. Are you wondering about the nitrogen going inside your body? It comes back to the soil through the waste animals produce. Yes, like this waste, animals also make waste. All that goes back to soil. When they die and their bodies decompose, the nitrogen again goes back to the soil for the plants to use. So tell me, what is nitrogen? Great. Do we need nitrogen? Superb! And how do we get that nitrogen? Wonderful! You have understood how we take in the atmospheric nitrogen. You now know how nitrogen in air is fixed so that all living things can use it. Do you want to know how this nitrogen goes back to the air? Some other bacteria do this work. They change ammonia and nitrate back to nitrogen, so the nitrogen cycle can be completed. This is just like the nitrogen cycle. Round and round and round, in the air, in the soil, in the plants, in the...
Alright, so, all what need nitrogen to live? All living things need nitrogen to live. People need nitrogen to make blank in our body. Protein. Now why is that important? Who knows why protein is important? Naya. Protein is the key element, or not the element, but the key thing for energy, for our bodies. If we don't have protein in our bodies, then we don't have energy. Protein, our hair, our eyes, our nails, our skin, that's all made up of protein. When we talk about biology and chemistry later, or biology, we'll learn more about how protein comes from enzymes and it's the building block. But protein is very important for energy. So that's very important. That shouldn't be there. Plants need nitrogen to make chlorophyll. Chlorophyll helps make them green and helps them to make food using the sunlight. So if you didn't have that information from the video, you want to make sure you get it now. Questions? Okay. Some people are just writing that down, so I'm going to give them a moment. Good? Yes? Okay. All right. You two good over here? Almost? Liliana, look at Elena's. All right, nitrogen cannot be used directly, which means we can't just take it in directly. It has to go through a process. So blank and blank can fix nitrogen so it can be used. What are those things that can fix nitrogen? What are they? Huh? Lightning and good. Lightning and bacteria can fix nitrogen so it can be used. This process of fixing nitrogen is called nitrogen fixation. Very good. So lightning is very important, although it may be scary, and we know that it's rain, and it may cancel our plans or ruin our plans or stop us from swimming. We need that. We need that because nitrogen is in our air, and nitrogen makes up how much of our air? 78%, and it's very important to us because it helps what get into our bodies? Protein get into our bodies, and protein is important. Why? Because we need energy. Everyone have this? Okay. How do living things get nitrogen? Well, plants get it from roots in the soil, yes. Humans get it from how do we get it? What do we eat? We eat plants and we eat animals. We eat both plants and animals. How do animals get it? Eat it through the plants. And I didn't add that part, so I do want you to add that. Animals get it from plants. Even though you have something else there, you can add it underneath. Animals get it from eating plants. And some animals get it from eating other animals. Plus it's in the air, so we do inhale it as well. So make sure you add animals get it from plants and sometimes other animals. And we can add in parentheses from the air. Got it? Everyone good? Okay. Nitrogen re-enters the air through what from the soil? Bacteria. Now, a lot of you don't have room on that same page, so I do want you to go to page 44, entitled it Nitrogen Cycle, and actually turn your book the long way, like this. So not portrait way, but landscape way. Turn your book. I still want you to go to the next one so you can stay in line with our table of contents. Okay, now here's the fun part. We are going to draw the nitrogen cycle. Now notice on the screen there is a color palette, so we can use whatever color is that we need to use. So I'm going to need some volunteers. Don't pick up the blue marker because it doesn't work, but you can pick up any other color marker, and when you pick up the marker, you can just tap it on here, whatever color you're going to use, and use it for that. And you can also make the marker bigger or smaller depending on what it is you need to draw. Now, I'm not going to tell you what you need to do until you get up here, so you might want to be careful with volunteering. All right, come on, Chris. And as he draws, you need to draw. So if you have crayons or colored pencils or markers or just draw it in pencil, you're going to need to add to your picture everything that he adds. So first, Chris, this, as you notice, our background is the color blue, turquoise. So this is the sky. This is our earth right now. We don't have anything on it. We're going to be drawing the nitrogen cycle. So first we need grass. We need a landscape. We need to get some grass. You can, color is Make the marker a lot bigger than the biggest one. Go ahead and give us some grass at the bottom of the screen. Not so high, not so high. We need the whole. We need this whole bottom. To be grass. Okay? Thank you. Good job. All right. Somebody else. Come on, Kyla. Are you ready? Kyla, right to the left of the screen, but not too far left, we're going to need a tree. Huh? This is the left over here. Okay, good job. Let's give her a round of applause. Okay, Naya. To the top right of the screen, you may need to move that box a little bit. So you got it. No. You don't want it to be nighttime, we still want it to be daytime. When you move it, you got to touch this top part where it says property. We're going to need a sun. Right in the top right corner. Try to do it again. I don't know why that wasn't working. Hold on. Okay, try it now. Try to put the pen down and pick it back up. What the heck? When we move that box, we got to move it with the pen in order for this to work. So move it with the pen. Yeah. There you go. No, it's up to you. You got to tap the yellow one more time. What the heck is going on? Try it again. Okay. Okay. Good job.
Can we move back up?
Hope you're good. All right. Another volunteer. Come on, Anaya. Anaya, we need just about 2 clouds up in the sky. Clouds are like white. Keep changing the background. Don't go so high up. if she's drawing big fluffy clouds, what type of clouds are these? Cumulus, good. Okay, good job. All right, another volunteer. Come on, Caleb. Caleb, we need some type of animal that lives in the wilderness. What would you say that would be? Not even in the wilderness, but an animal that maybe lives on a farm or an animal that maybe lives out and about. A cow or a deer or a rabbit. Okay. And right by the tree, draw it right by the tree. And we need it to be eating some grass. No, don't use your finger, use the pen. You're going to draw a deer? Okay. You can draw a bunny or a cow or a deer. Something that we consume.
Oh, does it have to be eating grass?
I would like for it to be eating grass.
Okay. Okay, that might be cool.
What the heck is this? We have a deformed, malnutrition deer going on here with a growth on his head. We have a camel-like deer. It's okay, it's okay, just leave it. We got a horse here. We have a deer book.
Oh my God, you messed it up with
What's this?
Okay, his head might look a little bit weird.
Oh, okay, this was the behind and this is the head. Oh, okay. All right, good job. No, don't erase it, it's good. Leave it. Okay. So there's our deer. Good job. Let's give Caleb a round of applause. No, you draw your own. I'll draw a bunny then. Circle with a little ball, little ears. Draw a bunny. All right. Now we need another person. Come on, Michael. Michael, from the clouds, we need some lightning. It's okay, it still can lighten when it's sunny. Just a couple things of lightning.
Don't make fun of my lightning.
Okay, good. Another volunteer. Come on, Kiesia. Are you ready?
No.
Okay, you gotta move that thing. Pick up the pen, pick up the pen. Not the blue one, not the blue one. Move it over to all the way to the left some. Right over there to the right on the grass, Kiesia. We need a dead bunny.
A what?
We need a dead bunny.
Oh God.
It's okay, you made a live bunny, now we need a dead animal. A dead cow, a dead deer. Right now we don't have much space, so we're just gonna have a little dead bunny. A dead bird would be fine.
Can I draw a bird?
No, we need a bunny. This bunny looking real dead already. What the heck is that?
It's a dead bunny.
What's the thing that you're drawing right now? His tongue?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What about the little bunny tail?
The who?
Little bunny. This is a circle. Okay, Fluffy's dead. Let's have a moment of silence for Fluffy. Fluffy was a good bunny. He provided for his family. His wife and little bunnettes will miss him. Please pass around the hat so we can collect money for the bunny family. All right. I think we're done. We're good. So now we need to do some things. We have our scenery, but this doesn't really mean anything when we're talking about nitrogen, correct? So now we have to make it make sense. All right? So this is the nitrogen cycle. And we know that nitrogen comes from what?
Plants.
And how does nitrogen get in the air? How does it get fixed? Lightning. So from here we have nitrogen. Yes. So your nitrogen is going to come from your lightning. It's going to go into the air, then it's going to be absorbed by plants. It's going to be absorbed by animals. Not our dead one. Okay? Our animals get it from the air, from the which gets back into the air from lightning. Where else do our animals get it from? From the plants. And the chemical symbol for nitrogen is N, but it's diatomic, and that means that it has to always have 2, so it's N2. So you can just draw an N for nitrogen. Our animals take it in from the air. Our animals then also take it in from the soil, or from the plants. But how does our animals also contribute it? They do. Nitrogen. How else do the animals contribute it? How else do they put it back into the atmosphere? They die. So this dead animal also is putting it back into the grass or into the soil. How else do animals put it back out? They take it in, they're also going to breathe it back out. Once it gets into the soil, this little stuff down here in the soil is what? Bacteria. That's called nitrogen fixation. So your bacteria does nitrogen fixation. And then it does what? How does it get back into the atmosphere? Through your plants. Your grass, because animals don't just eat the grass, they also eat leaves off of the trees. So it's a cycle. It comes into the atmosphere from your clouds, which is your lightning. It comes back into the atmosphere. It gets in the atmosphere from your animals. It gets in the atmosphere from your plants. And then the animals take in the plants, or we eat the animals. We then breathe it out. The animals breathe it out. The bathroom waste that's done, that gets back into the soil. Animals die, back into the soil, creates bacteria. It goes right back. All in a cycle. Our waste, when we die and when we release waste, that goes back into the atmosphere. And it's a continuous cycle. Matter is never created, nor is it destroyed. It just transfers itself. Huh? You know you get buried? Still, and even when you're cremated, that goes back into the air. Yes. Percentage was there for a difference. Any other questions? All right. So we're going to talk about the carbon cycle. We're going to follow a little bit like the nitrogen cycle, but it's a little bit shorter. All right. So on this page, you're going to write carbon cycle notes. This is on the next page after drawing the nitrogen cycle. But you probably will have space to put if we draw a picture down at the bottom. Make sure you follow suit as far as bulleting. Carbon is blank. I'm sorry, carbon is the stuff blank blank are made of. I'm just going to leave all of that up there. And give you a moment to copy it down. Oh, you didn't finish getting the first one. I'm sorry. That was very short. You need to write what? Like everything that's on there. Everyone have this now? Okay. I'll make the other part easier. Hold on. Yes. I am. I just didn't have time. All right, so make sure you title, just skip a line underneath what you just wrote and write carbon flow. It's going to talk about how carbon flows through our atmosphere. And the first thing is, your blank should be a little bit bigger because you're going to add, the word's going to be a little bit longer, but I did mine small for space. So blank, take in carbon through carbon dioxide and sunlight from the air to make their food. Not necessary right now. The next bullet, blank and blank eat plants and other animals and store carbon in their bodies and use to grow. You don't need to. Save space. Remember the underlining, you can highlight or underline a different color. That's what you need to know. When humans and animals blink, carbon is released back into the air as carbon dioxide. Dead animals release carbon into the blank, which then is released back into the blank. Carbon stored in soil can end up as blank, 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 also known as petrol or diesel. Well, they're three words, just that the last word is a double word. That's why I didn't put another comma there. Carbon is also stored in the blank, also called carbon sink. Good? Right here, if you're still writing. Okay, I'll leave it up there for a second. That's it for this part. It's one little part you gotta write. Right here, if you're still writing. Okay, couple more seconds. Good. How can carbon destroy the ozone layer? How can carbon destroy the ozone? Everyone have that down? Then you're going to answer that question.
Oh, you're playing with blocks. Nice. It was my favorite pastime when I was a kid. Would you like to learn about carbon and the carbon cycle today with the help of blocks? First, tell me, do you know what carbon is? What? Oh, car plus bun equals carbon. Very funny. Actually, carbon is more like your building blocks. It's the stuff you, I, plants, and all living things are made of. Look at these. Oh, these are not C for cat kind of words. Here, C represents carbon. The C show carbon atoms. They are always around us in the atmosphere, and they are in our body also, as carbon dioxide. Would you like to go on an exciting journey with these carbon atoms as they go around in the carbon cycle? Okay, good. Then come out with me. You see these plants? These plants take in carbon from the air to make their food. They also use sunlight to help them make their food. See? Now the carbon is moved in the plant. When we and other animals eat the plants or food made from plants, we store that carbon inside our bodies. Our bodies and all animals use the carbon to grow. Then bigger animals eat smaller ones, and carbon keeps on moving from one body to another. All living things breathe. When we breathe out, some of this carbon is released back into the air as carbon dioxide. So, how does carbon move from the atmosphere to living things and back? You are right! Plants breathe in carbon dioxide to make food. Then, this food is eaten by animals. Sometimes, smaller animals are eaten by bigger animals. This way, carbon is transferred from air to plants and animals. Animals and plants breathe out carbon dioxide, then it goes back into the air. Now a question for you. Do you know what happens to all that carbon stored in a body when it dies? When a plant or animal dies, most of the stored carbon goes back into the soil. Some of it goes back into the air, but most of it gets trapped in the soil. And over millions of years, the trapped carbon changes shape. It can end up as a diamond, probably coal, or fossil fuels, such as petrol and diesel. You know, the same cycle happens in water too. In fact, the ocean floor has such huge amounts of carbon stored in it that it is called a carbon sink. So, can you tell me some ways carbon is stored in the earth? Very good. Carbon is stored in living things, in oceans, and as fossil fuels, like coal and petroleum, deep underground. Oh, careful there. Is it getting hotter? It's because we humans are disturbing the carbon cycle. As we burn more and more fuel, coal, petrol, diesel, and gas, more and more of the locked up carbon gets released in the air. It's the job of trees to absorb this carbon, but we're cutting down trees too. This leaves a lot of carbon in the air, which leads to global warming. And the delicate balance of the carbon cycle is broken by us. Now that you know about the carbon cycle, maybe you can help Mother Earth keep her balance.
All right. So let's now take a look at these things. Carbon is the stuff blank are made of. Now, which is what? All living things. Carbon is the stuff all living things are made of. We all have carbon within us. So all living things. Everyone have that? Okay. The carbon flow. Blank take in carbon and sunlight from the air to make food. Plants. Good. Blank and blank eat plants and other animals and store carbon in their bodies and use it to grow. Anybody else? Humans and animals. When humans and animals blink, carbon is released back into the air as carbon dioxide. Breathe. Breathe or exhale. We put it back out there. Dead animals release carbon into the air or atmosphere, is that right? Soil. Goes back into the soil, which is then released into the atmosphere or the air. Carbon stored in soil can end up as diamonds, coal, or fossil fuel. Fossil, fuel, Fuel. Fossil fuel is what we use to make petrol, which is the gas that trucks use to drive, or diesel, or petrol is the gas that we all use to drive. Diesel is the thing for larger trucks to drive, so that's how we get our gas. Any questions from that? Diamond, coal, or fossil fuel? This one is fossil fuel, that's why I broke it up. Carbon is also stored in the ocean. That's why we call it the carbon sink. How can carbon destroy the ozone layer? How does that happen? When we release carbon into the air, what picks it up? Chris? Trees. But we're cutting down the trees to build more factories and build more homes, so that there's not enough trees to gather the carbon. So therefore, there's too much carbon. So it's in the atmosphere, which causes global warming, which is ruining our ozone. And the reason why global warming is happening is because the ozone, remember I told you the ozone was like a Band-Aid or like a scab. And what are we doing when we cut down trees? What are we essentially doing to that scab? We're picking at it. So the ozone cannot replenish itself. It stays open, which lets more sunlight in, which then makes us hot, and that's global warming. Any questions? All right, so now let's get ready to go to the next page. Yep. And this is going to be your next page, and you have to title it Carbon Cycle. And again, you're going to use your color pencils. I'm going to get us started. We need some grass, but not all the way through, because this is a large picture, so we're going to actually add a body of water. And this is going to be our ocean. All right, so start your picture off with your grass, your ocean, any questions so far? Okay, we can't draw so big because we don't have a whole lot of space. So when I say you draw something, try not to draw it so big. Volunteer. Same people? Can we get a different volunteer? All the same people. Come on, Tyrese. Tyrese, over to the very, very, very right side. Don't make it very big, and pick up any marker except for the blue one, and then you can tap the colors that you need. But over to the left side, I'm going to need a tree. Not a big one. Just actually give me a bush, a little bush. And make it an orange bush. Not orange in the color, but means it has oranges on it. We're in an area like Florida where oranges grow on bushes. Yeah, you tap it with the pen. A bush is what color? Green. There you go. And way over to the left. And if you need it to be a little bit, your marker needs to be a little bit thicker, then you can do that. Go with the pen. Make it as far in the corner as you can. That's good, yeah. That's good. Now we need to put some oranges on it. You can hit more for more colors, or if that's orange, that's fine. Okay. And there's some circles for oranges. It's orange. But get a little bit thicker, because then all you got to do is tap it, it'll be a circle. There you go. Yep. Make sure you're doing the same. Don't wait for him. Okay. Good job. Thank you. Alrighty. Now, volunteer. Come on, Kiesia. Are you ready? Kiesia, we're having a picnic by this orange bush. So I need you to give me a person sitting down with an orange in their hand. Or the person who can just have an orange. Well, oh, this is a long person.
Come on, Megan.
Good job. Wait, I said they gotta have orange. They gotta have a face.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't change colors. Eyes are the same color as theirs. Wow, this is a nice looking person.
Thank you.
Hold on. Okay. And they're bald-headed, so that's cool. They can be bald-headed if they want.
Is this a woman?
That's some big lips. Okay, here we go. And now she has to have an orange.
They're eating it or just in
Just in her hand is fine. That's her hand. Oh, that was her arm.
Wait, why did you?
It is. That's orange. That's the orange. That's the orange is gonna get. That's a big orange. Where'd you get that orange from?
Oh, no. Yes,
It does at the top. It does. Some do when you first get them. That's how they come off. They pull them off before they put them in the grocery store. Okay. I need for Michael X to come next. Right by Michael right by the person that's there. I don't know that person. Kiesia. Right by Kiesia is a little bunny. Well, you're going to have to try. A bunny. A little bunny. Come on. Like a little bit near Kiesia's a little bunny. Not too close, but just like near her. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, see?
Little circle head and then some ears. Got a little bunny ears. There we go. And then a little circle body. A little bunny tail, a little circle tail. There we go. And gotta get some legs.
Oh,
White legs. All right. Okay.
okay.
3 legs. 3 legs of bunny. Little foo-foo. Okay. All right. Now, come on. We need over on the other side of the ocean. So you got to move that with your pen. We are going to need A dead bird. Birds keep dying because we're polluting the air. Oh, okay, I see what you were doing. I don't know what's going on. Dead birds. Okay. Oh, the bird got blood. The bird is dead. All right. Good job. All right. So now, if you look at your notes, carbon flow, what did the first part of your note say for the carbon flow?
The carbon flow. Carbon is the stuff you.
Plants taking how? But no, how do plants take in carbon? What was your second note say?
Plants taking carbon in sunlight.
What do we do to put it back in the air?
Humans breathe.
We breathe. So we're going to let out carbon. Right? So we let it out, plants are taking it in. Then what? How do we get it? In us. We eat it. So this orange is a plant. That's carbon. How do animals get it?
They eat grass.
They eat it. So this has a little bit of grass in his mouth. That's carbon. How does it get in this grass? We breathe out and what else happens? These animals die. So they put carbon back into the ground. So plants get it back from the soil. How else do we get it back in there? What could happen if it's all the way down in here? It could turn into you could turn into a diamond. I forgot the blueberry part. You could change into coal or fossil fuel, which is where we get our gas from. Where else is coal located or carbon located? Was the last thing you wrote? In the ocean. Hold on. This is carbon here. What else do plants let out for us? Not only do we let out carbon and we take it and we eat, what do plants let out for us that's good? What is their waste that it lets out that we need?
Their protein.
What do plants let out that we need?
Air.
What is in the air that we need? Oxygen.